Hello everyone, Yummy Aaron here, and I thought I'd bring to you today my Buster Bleeder deck. It's a really fun deck, a lot of fusion going on, a lot of dragon destroying. Honestly, one of my more favorite fun decks to play, if, in the casual, if you will. So, let's get started, shall we? Your main monster, going to want to run 3 Buster Bleeders, pretty self-explanatory. This card gains 500 attack for each additional attack for each dragon monster your opponent controls or is in the grave. So that is pretty good, especially back in the day. And then we're gonna run 3 Buster Whelp of the Destruction Sword. Summon this, and then you normal summon. Add a destructive sword from your deck to your hand, so you can either go for this one or the better option, the spell. So, hold on. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so either add that one, or you could add the much better option, the Destruction Swordsman Fusion. Because with this one, you could target a dragon your opponent controls, and then go off from that to special summon the Buster Blader, the Dragon Destruction Swordsman, which is one of the main things to do in this deck. So pretty good. And it's a 1-star, so you can pretty much bring out Link Karibo or Relinquish Anima. And yeah, if this card is in the graveyard, well, if this card is in your graveyard and you control Buster Blader, you can discard 1 card. Special summon this card, so you can go into the Synchro play, which we'll be getting into that later. Oops, can't get it off of the screen. And then for the rest of the Buster Whelps, I run 1 Destruction Sword, Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, and 1 Wizard Buster Destruction Sword. Basically, with one of these, it stops your opponent from using traps, and then this one stops your opponent from using cards in the extra deck, so it pretty much locks them down. So I tried mixing them at 2, but 1 seems to be honestly good because they're searchable from Buster Whelp. So, I mean, that's pretty much choice, but I think 1 of each is pretty good. And then another Buster Bleeder monster. I run 2 Buster Bleeder the Destruction Swordsman. This card becomes Buster Bleeder on the field or in the grave. If you destroy a monster with this, equip that monster, and during your turn, you can discard that equipped monster to destroy the same type your opponent controls, which normally will be dragon. So that's pretty good right there. I'm running two Dark Magicians because I go into the fusion play to get out your powerful, your Dark Paladin, from the show, so it's pretty dang good. I run 2 Dark Magicians, so I don't know. I think there's better options, like the one that searches Poly, like King of the Swamps, I think. Not sure, but yeah, I like to run 2 Dark Magicians. And then 1 Scapegoat. You flip to special summon as many sheep tokens, black sheep tokens, level 1 dark. You could also use this as a synchro for your Buster Dragon, because you just need 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner monster. So Buster Blader and then Scapegoats. There you go. Unless you don't have access to your Buster Whelp, which most of the time you will. And then if you want a monster in the grave, I run 1 of the Tricky. So, that's in the show, so you should know. And then 1 Big Shield Garden. I'll explain the reason for the Big Shield Garden right in a couple seconds. It's either for these 2 cards right here, because we do run Hermos in this deck, so I run 2 of those. And now on for actually 1 of those. On for the spells. You're going to want some search power, so I run 3 Emblem of the Dragon Destroyer. So pretty much add a Buster Blader from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So after you go into fusion, you could even bring it back up to your hand. Also like to run 3 Stray Lambs. I picked this over Scapegoats because I could tribute these for a normal set. Not a normal summon, but you can normal set. So they won't know, and if they attack into you, well, the defense is going to increase by the number of dragons your opponent controls. So that's honestly pretty good. So that's why I run 3 Stray Lambs, because they can be tributed. And since I want to take your opponent's monsters, so I run 2 Super Polys. Honestly, one of the better fusions in this deck. And yeah, it's a quick play, so you could set it and then take your monsters without them knowing. And then since we're running fusions, I also run 2 regular polymerizations to bring out fusion monsters pretty much from your hand. This one, not Super Poly. Super Poly cannot bring monsters from your hand. And then since I told you we were running Hermos, I decided to run 2 the Claw Hermos. So basically with your Buster Whelps, you can bring out even this one. And add it just to add more attack to your, because your opponent's going to have dragons. Add more damage, more attack actually, so that's pretty dang good on that. So running 2 of those. And then a couple of one-ofs. A Foolish Burial, a Monster Reborn. And yeah, that's, oh, and then 1 Book of Moon. So that's pretty much self-explanatory for these cards, so yeah. And the couple of last ones, the best card Buster Blader has to offer, it's Quick Play Fusion, which fusion summon 1 fusion monster from that lists Buster Blader as material from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or either side of the field as fusion material. So this is pretty dang great. And then it has another effect. You can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add this card to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. It's a hard once per turn too. And honestly, this is one of the, oh shit dog, dang. That is one of the best spells that this deck offers, so run 3 if anything. And then this is just preference because I like to summon tribute it. I run 3, not 2, 3 Soul Exchange, so much more faster to tribute summon stuff. Because if I just have the 1 monster, bring out his monster, then yeah. And that's it for the spells. Let's go on for the trap. I run 1 DNA Surgery, you know, because you want to make your opponent, if he's not running dragons, you're going to make him run dragons, so gain that extra attack. And then I run 1 Destruction Sword Flash. Pretty much if you control a fusion monster that lists Buster Blader as material, banish all monsters your opponent controls. So when a card effect is activated, it targets a Buster Blader monster you control, except during the damage step, you can banish this card from the graveyard and negate that effect. And if you do, destroy that card. So I was thinking of running this at 3. And maybe at 2. Maybe 2 would be better, but I'm running it at 1 at this time. So, really good cards. Negation. But yeah, the requirements, you have to have a Buster Blader fusion on the field, so it's kind of easy, but you know. And then to end it off, I run 1 Solemn Strike and 1 Solemn Warning. So, yeah, to stop your opponent. That's pretty much all the ones I used to that cost life points, so it's not that bad. So now let's go on to the extra deck. We're running 3. This one's a very mandatory monster in this deck. 3 Buster Blader the Destruction Swordsman. Pretty much if your opponent has dragons, set those to defense. And this guy does piercing battle damage. And instead of like Buster Blader where he gains 500, this guy gains 1,000, so really good card. And if you have DNA Surgery on the field, ooh, it is over for them. So definitely run 3 of these, and must be special summoned from Fusion. No cheating them out of the extra deck. And I run 2 Dark Paladins. Dark Magician and Buster Blader must be fusion summoned. When a spell card is activated, quick effect, you can discard one card and negate that activation. And if you do, destroy it. And this guy gains 500 for each dragon your opponent controls or is in the grave, so that is pretty dang amazing. And then since we do run Super Poly, I like to run one of these. Oops, sorry about that, guys. As I was saying, I run two Starving Venom Fusion Dragons. Target 2 dark monsters on the field except tokens, and then fusion summon that. And then Piranha Plant Dragon Staffel. 1 fusion monster and 1 dark monster in the field. So, well, not on the field, but it's pretty good for super poly targets. So, I do that. Damn. And then the Claw Hairmost targets, I pretty much run 1 Goddess Bow, 1 Rocket Hairmost Cannon, and then 2 Red Eyes Black Dragon Swords. So this one's really good for to attack because it gains like more attack if they have dragons. And the cannon, I believe that one does piercing battle damage. Not 100% sure, but yeah. And then the Goddess Bow makes it have a second attack on the same turn. So those are pretty good. And then on for the synchros. So I'm running 2 Buster Dragons. Honestly, this card really needs a reprint because it's like a what, $20? I was lucky enough to get a cheaper. So this one is, this monster basically has a built-in DNA surgery, which makes all your opponent monsters dragons. So really ranks up that that attack on your Buster Bladers. And once per turn, if you don't control a Buster Blader, target one in your graveyard and special summon it. Yeah, and this is the card you want to have in defense mode, so really good. And a new card we have to the Buster Blader archetype. I'm running 1, what's his name? Protector Whelp of the Dragon Swordsman. So honestly, I don't know much about this card. I haven't had a chance to play it, you know, with the whole world happening and such. So yeah, it just came out in dual overload, so yeah. And well, that's pretty much it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. See ya.